Psalm 128 is basically a praise of those that fear Hashem and walk in his ways. Rashi comments that it is all encouragement and inspiration. The Mitzudas David relates going in his ways to fulfilling the positive commandments and fearing Hashem to not transgressing the negative commandments. He adds that the propriety of his actions will bring him many successes. The Meiri describes fear of Hashem as including avoiding all sin and disdaining all that is deplorable. The Seforno explains, happy are those that fear Hashem, as knowledge of his greatness in depth. Samson Raphael Hirsch remarks that the fear of the Lord and honest conduct in his ways are in themselves sufficient to secure happiness. Maimonides in the Sefer HaMitzvahs basically defines fear of Hashem, saying, we are commanded to establish in our minds fear and dread of God, exalted be He. We should not be calm and nonchalant, but be constantly concerned of imminent punishment for misdeeds. Concerning going in the ways of Hashem, the Rambam learns that it is a mitzvah to emulate the Holy One, blessed be He. Paraphrasing the Sifri, he explains that just as Hashem is called merciful, gracious, righteous, and kind, so too we should be merciful, gracious, righteous, and kind. Maimonides adds that we should strive to acquire the noble appellations by which God is described. Chaim Vital's discussion in Sha'arei Kedusha of how good character makes a person apt to perform the mitzvahs gives some insights on the ways of Hashem. In it, he says that the four foundations of nature, fire, wind, water, and earth, correspond to the four letters of the ineffable name. From these foundations come four basic bad character traits: vanity, blather, hedonism, and depression. The opposite of the bad are four good traits: humility, proper use of speech, disdain for extravagance, and joy. The book then goes into detail how to inculcate these ideas into a person's mentality and behavior. The Malbim associates fear of heaven with three endeavors: self-perfection, perfection of the home, and perfection of the nation. As opposed to material successes, he sees going in the paths of Hashem as the essential happiness of the soul. These would correspond to the three blessings in the psalm. The first is a livelihood which brings satisfaction. The second is a nice wife and children. The third is the peace of Zion, Jerusalem, and Israel. Concerning going in his paths, the Meiri says includes hints of perfection, and among them, one should not jump for money, rather he should eat from the labor of his hands, and that appropriate actions will incline one to many successes. The Yalkut Shimoni brings a homily from Marzutra in the name of Rabbi Chisda that every Talmid Chacham who reads, reviews, and serves other religious scholars will see sustenance for himself. About him it is written, the labor of your hands you will eat, and you will be happy, and it will be good for you. The Seforno simply states, your needs will be satisfied. On the verse, your wife is a fruitful vine, Rashi comments, many children. The Meiri comments a dignified wife. The Mitsudas Zion explains it's a concept of back inside. It is the type of thigh that is on the side of a man, as is the thigh of the altar. The Malbim comments, even though she is in the recesses, the yerkate, thighs, of the house, she raises her branches and droops them on the roof of the house, and generally shelters the house from there. Likewise, she modestly dwells in the tent, in the recesses of the home, and in all of this she protects and shelters all aspects of the home. The language is similar to the Song of Songs. How beautiful are your feet in shoes, daughter of nobility, the curves of your thighs, Chamukei Yorchayich, are like jewels, the work of a craftsman, suggesting sensuality and beauty. The Mitsudas David comments, she will be a vine which grows plants that stand inside the home close to you, to provide help and nourishment in a time when fruits are many and good. In a similar fashion, your wife will bear many children. Like olive saplings, they remain beautiful all the days of the year. So to your children, their faces never fade, and they will surround your table and not rely on the table of others. The Meiri comments about the virtues of the sun, saying, they are to be compared to olive trees, because the olive leaves last all year, summer and winter, and likewise they, the sons, are busy all the days of their childhood with Torah and wisdom. Every sapling gives its fruit in its time, and its leaves do not wilt. The last two lines of this psalm is King David's blessing to the person with fear of heaven. It is that God should bless him out of Zion, meaning the holy temple. He should see the good of Jerusalem, his grandchildren's, and peace in Israel. The Malbim understands a blessing from Zion as a blessing from a sacred place. He sees the good of Jerusalem as the success of the community and of being part of its good and joy. The Mitsudas David understands the blessing as seeing the good of Jerusalem at the time it will be rebuilt. The Yalkut Shimoni sees the blessing from Zion as all of its affairs, tranquility, and goodness. The Mitsudas David comments on peace, that you will see peace in Israel when they dwell in their own land. The Sforno comments that you will be among those selected for the days of the Messiah. On seeing your children's children, he remarks that they will raise up many students. And peace on Israel means that there will not be the many divisions like it was in the early days. Thank you.